program. We'd love to have you hang out with us. And again, appreciate everybody who is a part of the show and those of you that share the show and tell your friends and neighbors and everybody else about us. Again, 803-450-0086. All right. So I hate that we didn't get a little bit more time with Qualt because I really wanted to dive in some more into his thoughts on Bobby Bowden and the legacy of one of the great coaches of our time, really. And maybe one of the greatest coaches. When we go down the line 10 or 15 years, we might be still saying one of the greatest coaches of not just a generation, but, man, what he did in the 80s with those Florida State teams and the legacy that he left is hard to top. And I think Dabo Swanny is trying to put something eerily similar to that together, and the fact that it was kind of piggybacked off of Bobby's son Tommy, bringing Dabo Swanny in, and Tommy had coached Dabo Swanny at Alabama. I mean, the connections there are really incredible. Now, to the gridiron for your Clemson Tigers this season, we mentioned the Joe and the things that have come out on that front about him, but man, the reviews that you continue to hear about Will Shipley, just his ability to maybe be one of the fastest guys on the team already. Going to be tough to keep him off the field. He's doing some work at punt return for this Clemson Tiger team this season. And, I don't know if the last time there was this anticipation to kind of see what a running back could do at Clemson, unless you kind of backtrack to probably C.J. Spiller. Look, I saw Andre Ellington at Berkeley High School, and I thought, man, he looks a lot like Spiller, but there weren't people that I think had built up Ellington's career the way that they had built up C.J. Spiller's, right? And then Ellington has a huge run against Auburn in the season opener over in Atlanta, kind of puts his hand in the dirt, makes a bunch of big plays, and people are like, whoa, this guy, this guy's good. And but still nobody thought, better than Spiller, not that I know of. And then you kind of have Wayne Gallman, and we talked with Tim Bray about this the other day. You have Wayne Gallman and Adam Choice, just sort of a stable of running backs. Even Tavian Feaster wouldn't have garnered this much attention, and certainly Travis Etienne, although there were murmurs, and I can remember being under the stadium on what would be this coming Saturday back in 2015, whatever year that was, 14, 15. Yeah, they all kind of run together. Etienne's freshman year. And I remember, 2017, right? Because Clemson got beat by Alabama 24-6 that year in the Sugar Bowl in the college football playoff. So Travis Etienne, that season, was sort of this unknown guy. Many people thought his name was Etienne, like etouffee or any other Cajun thing that starts with an E, essentially. And so we were sitting there under the stadium, and Mike Bays, former Clemson Tiger, Mike currently dealing with his battle with cancer, which is pretty well publicized. I know he keeps everybody updated over on his Facebook page, and our thoughts and prayers absolutely go out to Mike. And, he had a huge part in the book about Clemson's mascots behind, what's it, Through the Eyes, I think. Let me make sure I get the title right on that. Clemson Through the Eyes of the Tiger, right? With Mike Bays and John Cicetta. And so Mike comes out of the stadium. He's got, I think, he's got two sons. I think he just had one of his sons with him. And, he's kind of walking out from the West End Zone. And I'm standing there, David Hood, several other members of the media. We're kind of standing there. And Mike sees me, and he's like, hey, Swanny, And so Mike and I go way back to my time at Clemson, North Floor. I lived with Lee Hanna, who many of you may have known as super fan back in the day. Well, me and Mike are shooting the breeze about things. And I said, so, what the team look like in there? He said, man, let me tell you. He said, this Etienne kid is the real deal. And maybe he said the truth. I think the real deal was Taj Boyd talking about Deshaun. But anyway, he just essentially said, this cat's good. And so even Etienne didn't have the anticipation to see his not necessarily first carries, because you've already seen that from Will Shipley, but the blossoming of his career. Etienne did not have what Will Shipley has had. I think probably, and you correct me if you think I'm wrong, the last time we kind of had that was with CJ Spiller. I think part of it is the fact that Will Shipley is already one of the fastest guys on the team. And I think the other part is the thing that's kind of bothered me about Will Shipley from the get-go is the comparisons he gets to Christian McCaffrey. But it's just so rare in 2021 to not only have a white running back on the field, but like a star. And I think people are like, holy cow, is this kid really going to be that good? And then you start to hear the reviews, and it's like, well, yeah, it sounds like he may very well be. And this is a group that I think is going to be utilize a stable of running backs. Ironically, CJ Spiller, the coach now of the running backs, but with Lynn J. Dixon, Kobe Pace, with Phil Maffa, with Will Shipley. I think you're going to see all of these guys get opportunities, but what will possibly stand out could be Shipley if he's as good as advertised. And I think he's as anticipated right now at running back of any Clemson running back that we've had on campus since CJ Spiller. I think that's a legit take. 803-450-0086. Stay with us. Let me tell you who I trust to protect my